phrase, "it takes a village"? That's because it's almost impossible to accomplish anything without working with other people, which is also called collaboration. Vivian Dillon is a faculty coordinator at American River College, part of the New World of Work team, and is an expert team player. There are 4 primary traits that comprise the skill of collaboration, and Vivian will be talking with us about those 4 traits. Sees how diversity on a team can be beneficial, is open to working in person or remotely with team members, and uses technology to help complete team tasks. Respects how people are different and finds what people have in common so they can work well as a team and have shared goals. Shares leadership and responsibilities with team members, offers help when needed, and involves team members by getting their input to generate new ideas. Finds positive ways to deal with conflict on the team and sees setbacks as a way to learn. Morgan and Zachary will be joining us to share some of the insights they have into being a good collaborator. Vivian, what is the first trait of collaboration?
So the first trait is seeing how diversity on a team can be beneficial and being open to working in person or remotely with team members and using technology to help complete team tasks.
And Morgan, do you have any experience working with a diverse team?
Oh, yeah. When I was working at a coffee shop, we worked with people from all different backgrounds, different ethnicities, sexual orientations, and ages. There was a lot of times where I would work with some people who were younger than me, but most of the people I worked with who were actually older than me, some of them even had kids my own age. Yeah. But it was cool because we got different experiences and different information from those people. So there was times where I was the shift manager, but everyone who was working on my shift was older than I was. And so I would have to find ways to ask them questions and get their input. So not only would they feel like they were a valuable member of the team, but also we can improve the work environment by getting some of their knowledge in.
And that's exactly what collaboration is getting different perspectives. And when you combine all of those and take those perspectives into account, you often end up with a better outcome.
Yeah.
And as far as getting everybody's perspective in a diverse team, did you have any technological tools to help you with that?
Oh, totally. When I was at the coffee shop, we had a point of sale system. It's also called a POS system, and it had all the different menus for all the different food items and drinks and all the crazy variations that people do with their coffee. And without that, there's no way we could have done the job that we did. It really helped organize everything.
Oh, great. So there was a very specific tool that you had. Are there other technological tools that can help increase diversity in the workplace?
Oh, absolutely. So Dropbox is a great way to share documents that are very large, files that are very large. And certainly Google Docs is a great way to have everyone collaborate and come together to edit. And then there's video chatting options such as FaceTime and Skype as well that allow for that collaboration to happen.
Yeah, and the other thing that's awesome about tools like FaceTime and Skype is it lets you work with people in different locations that otherwise you might not be able to work with.
So technology can definitely increase collaboration and increase diversity in the workplace, right?
Exactly.
Make a list of 5 people you know. It can be a mix of family members, classmates, friends, neighbors. Then think about what skills each of them excel at. Write down what abilities each of the people on your list would bring to a team situation. There may be a little bit of an overlap, but I bet they all have different strengths. Then do the same thing for yourself. Understanding your own skills is a big part of self-awareness, a skill we'll review in another video. And Vivian, what is the second trait of collaboration?
Well, the second trait is respecting how people are different and finding what people have in common in order to work as a team and have shared goals.
Why is finding common ground important when you're working as a team?
Well, it gives you a mutual understanding and also creates a foundation to begin to work together.
Zachary, have there been moments where you needed to find common ground with a teammate?
Yeah, definitely. In school, in math class, I was paired with this one kid to work on this project, and never really talked to this kid before. It just didn't really click, so it's kind of like, oh, great, I'm with this kid. And the small talk wasn't going smoothly either. But then we kind of realized how far behind in the class we were, like how much we didn't really get the project. And that kind of broke the ice a little bit, and we were able to brainstorm and kind of go from there. And ultimately, we ended up finishing the project, and we reached our goal and ended up getting a pretty good grade too.
So you were able to find common ground.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and it also made me more open-minded, because I was kind of closed-minded when I first was paired with him. Like, I'm not going to get along with this kid, and we actually ended up getting along pretty well. So I'm going to keep that in mind for next time.
That's great. Kind of surprising how much common ground you found.
Yes, definitely.
And what happens, though, for those times where you can't find common ground with a teammate?
Well, I think you can start with the basics and really look at your shared goal, much the way that Zachary did. Their common goal was to try to figure out what that project was. Mm-hmm. And so another example would be, let's say a group of people are standing near a soda machine, and they're most likely in their own worlds focusing on what they need to accomplish. But then suddenly that soda machine breaks down. Well, that shared goal of trying to figure out how to get their drinks is going to bring them together as a team to collaborate to accomplish their goal of getting those drinks.
Absolutely. Can you think of other situations that can transform a group of individuals into a team? Find a partner and brainstorm ways in which a common goal could bring a group of people together. They could be hypothetical situations, examples from your own life, or even moments from history. So Vivian, what is the third trait of collaboration?
Well, the third trait is sharing leadership and responsibilities with team members, offering help when needed, and involving the team members by getting their input to generate new ideas.
That's really interesting because I think a lot of people think of leadership roles as, leaders tell everybody what to do, right?
Right.
But what I'm hearing you say is that a good leader collaborates with their team.
And they do, absolutely. And if you think about it, would you be more likely to be invested in a project that you really had little to no input in, or a project that you actually contributed to and helped form the outcomes of that?
Definitely the second one.
Right.
Having some input makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Right, and most people would agree with you, absolutely.
And Morgan, do you have experience in a leadership role where you're also part of a team?
Oh, for sure. When you work at a coffee shop, you have to work as a team to get anything done. Like my first day, I was a shift manager at the coffee shop I was working at. It was totally crazy. I showed up and there was a line around the block of people waiting to get their drinks. And when I get into the store, I discover that a pipe had exploded into the main cafe area. Oh. Yeah, so it was just a mess. And there's no way I could have handled that alone. Like I had to find a way to play to people's strengths. Like we had someone who just started training who I knew was most comfortable on register, so they worked on the register. Some people were really amazing at making drinks quickly, so I had them do that. Other people were great talking to customers face to face, so I had them do that. And then I sectioned off the cafe area and cleaned it up myself after calling maintenance. And crazy things like that happen at work all the time, and you can't handle it alone. You have to know how to work together as a team to get the job done.
And that's a really great example, Morgan, because you had your team members invested in the outcome, and it sounds like you were actually able to serve your clients much better despite all the chaos that was happening.
Yeah.
That's a really good example.
Oh, thanks.
Have you ever worked on a team in which you felt like everybody worked really well together and everybody's ideas were heard? Find a partner and exchange stories of your most successful team experience. Talk with your partner about why you think those teams were so successful. And Vivian, what is the fourth trait of collaboration?
The fourth trait is finding positive ways to deal with conflict on a team and seeing setbacks as a way to learn.
Are there ways of dealing with conflict that aren't positive?
Yes, there are. In fact, yelling might be something that you wouldn't want to do to help resolve conflict, but also being passive aggressive in your communication and also just shutting down and refusing to engage to find a resolution. Those are all things that you're going to try to avoid.
Zachary, have you had any issues with disagreements among team members?
Yes, definitely. One time at my serving job, me and this one other guy didn't really get along because of a scheduling conflict. I got off on one night when he wanted off and he had to work or something. He thought I got specialized treatment or something. But then we were kind of forced to work together one night to serve this party together. And it was not going smoothly at all. He kept making passive-aggressive comments and stuff. So I pulled him aside and heard his side of the story and listened and explained my side of the story and explained I needed it all for a good reason, and even told him I would pick up one of his shifts in the future if he needed it, and he really appreciated that. We kind of put the past behind us, and everything went smoothly after that.
And how did your actions affect the party that you were working on?
It helped a lot because after we talked, we were able to serve the party smoothly and happily, as opposed to before it was kind of a little rough. So it definitely helped.
And Vivian, what do you think about the way that Zachary handled that?
I think, Zach, you did a great job. You took the time to really share your perspective with your team member, but also to hear his perspective as well. And you were able to move forward from that and use it as a way to form your relationship so that you were able to serve your clients better.
Can you think of a time in your life when you had a conflict with someone that you were not able to work through? Make a list of the repercussions that you experienced from not being able to find common ground. Then imagine what would have happened if you were able to find a resolution. Did you miss out on any experiences or opportunities that you would have been able to have if you were able to work out that conflict?